Welcome into the Immigrant Podcast. I'm your boy Nikolai Hill. Program is brought to you by Nothing But Net International. We appreciate you taking the time out to be with us here today. Another classic college football season, and it's drawing to near to the end of it right now. 4 teams left of the 12-team college playoff series, and it's winding down. I know Ohio State, one of the 4 teams left in the running for the championship, and of course that's one of the teams that's been consistent over the years in being at this stage of the competition. Penn State as well is part of the competition as well. Texas, a new team in the Big 12, will be in the running for the final standing as well. Some glaring omissions will be in the Final Four for the first time. No Georgia, no Alabama, no Clemson, if you want to put them in there as well. So a few teams that are missing that at least one of those teams would usually be in the Final Four at this point in the season. So it's a surprise to many, but not a surprise to all when, of course, you make the pot bigger to a 12-team playoff. Anything possibly could happen. I've spoken previously about my gratitude for Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and I got to follow up. He's done a magnificent job. I think they finished 9-4 this season. Unfortunate losing maybe one of the last of the 3 games that could have got him in that Big 12 championship game, and then ultimately I would say they lost to either Brigham Young or Air Force in that final bowl game. I'm not really a bowl game watcher. I'm more like into the playoffs and more competitive games that really stand for something. So I would say I think it was Brigham Young that they lost to in that bowl game. But nothing to take away from Coach Prime. He's had a stellar season as well, and it's been another great college football season. Now, of course, I didn't want to highlight this at the start of the podcast because I want to put a more positive spin on my program and what we're talking about here going forward. But of course, congratulations to the Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter. Many will say we have never even seen a player like him in college before. I would digress and say we have never seen a player this used and also being this productive in college football. Full-time at the wide receiver and a defensive back position. Absolutely phenomenal. Not a lot of people would understand unless you've actually played the game of football itself, how hard it is to go on defense and offense during a 60-minute game. I'm not sure. I think it's 48 minutes that they play in college. So very demanding. So props to him. I think he was more deserving of the Heisman Trophy more than Genty. I think we've seen what Genty has done before. I think the competition that Genty played wasn't up to the standard of what Travis Hunter did in the Big 12. So for that reason alone, I want to give him props, and he had a fantastic season, phenomenal season, and congratulations to him on winning the Heisman Trophy. There's a couple of guys at the Heisman Trophy ceremony that I wasn't sure why they were there, and in the bowl game, that kind of showed itself. I think the quarterback for Oregon, can't remember the guy's name, the young man's name, good quarterback, NFL-ready quarterback, had an amazing season. But I think he was fortunate to be in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony, and props to Cam Ward as well for getting a nod to be there. Maybe. We could have easily said Shedeur Sanders. I deserve that nod. His numbers was good on a less talented football team, a team that had more questions going into the 2024 season. That's going to end in a few weeks here. But I wanted to touch on Travis Hunter a little bit. The media, social media recognition, the way media travels, far more complicated than it's ever been in any time in the history of this planet. And the situation he's going in with his lady has been a very outspoken and promoted a situation. I just want to commend the young man on how he's handled himself, not only on the field, because he's continued to be productive every game of the season. Of course, the news and the information boiled over at the end of the season, and he was still probably the best player in that bowl game, even though Colorado lost the game. So I just want to give him a lot of props, acknowledge him for how he's carried himself the entire season. And no matter what goes forward when it comes to this young lady or your draft position or the Colorado Buffaloes and what comes to them in the future, whether it be Heisman Trophy candidates or national championships, we wanted to highlight this young man for being maybe the guy that turned the program around completely. Of course, Coach Prime's son, Shador, was a big part of it, him and Shiloh, a big part of it, getting players to buy in. But Travis Hunter, props to you, sir. And you've put a whole city of Boulder, a whole state of Colorado on your back, and definitely the Colorado University football team on your back. And it's going to be better for them because of you, my friend. So props to you, Travis Hunter. And with that being said, I'd like to take my exit out of here. It's been another episode of the Immigrant Podcast. Take it easy.